What is going on, folks? Thank y'all for tuning in. So if you're watching this on the recording, that most likely means that you supported the masterpiece edition of Black Wall Street, the board game. So we definitely appreciate you. If y'all watching live, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. What we're gonna do today is rewind, just in case this is like the first time we've been introduced to each other. My name is De'Von Truvel, proud creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and a part of the Play Black Wall Street team. What we want to do today, because the masterpiece edition is so, in our opinion, so special. It's a work of art, truly in its own right. We want to show y'all a little bit of the progression on how we got to the masterpiece edition and some decisions, some sacrifices that we had to make earlier in the process. And the masterpiece edition has been in the works for a lot of years. A lot of the features that we wanted to add earlier, we weren't at a moment in time where we could do those features, so we had to hold off a little bit. But the masterpiece edition really brings a lot of our dreams and aspirations into one place. But often you can't see or like truly experience the evolution of a game, right? And if you're only purchasing the masterpiece edition, no worries, like you don't necessarily have to go back. But the second edition is a very strong, solid game. That game's going to continue to be sold. First edition is no longer available, but if you got it, you're a real one. We appreciate you. But yeah, we're going to go through the progression. If y'all have live questions or even questions in the replay, feel free to put in the comments, and we'll make sure our team follows up and answers those questions. So this board, if you've been rocking with us, you've probably seen a few times already, right? But this is the first design of the board that was ever created. The MVP, minimum viable product, made this in my grandma's house back in 2017. Don't judge me, but we like to show these in order for y'all to get a little bit of sense of you can start anywhere, right? I think when we get into game designing or starting a business, designing a t-shirt, we think we need to start with the best option. Like, no, minimum viable product, start as quickly as possible with as little upfront capital as possible. All right. So this was our MVP. It was free 99. Didn't cost us nothing to make but time and a little bit of my pride. All right. So here it is right here. All right, nothing fancy. This is literally just a cardboard box picked up. I just moved in, so boom, got the logo was supposed to go in the middle. Didn't even have a logo yet, y'all. Had no idea what was going to go there. Right? Did a little mapping of what should go where. A school should go there, an airport should go there, a restaurant, a service, school, city library, hospital, grocery store, another airport. Right? Just had like the skeleton of what it could look like. The draw cards we put into a PowerPoint presentation, and it was just like randomly click on something. If you landed on a draw, randomly click on a PowerPoint slide, boom, that would be your draw card. Thumbtacks for the pawns, and then just took dice from a different game, and we were rolling, right, just to see, can this concept of the board game work. And if this is again your first time, if you don't know the story yet, we supported a camp called the Village Nation Uni Camp. Right, shout out to Fluker and the Village Nation team. But that's where we got inspired to create the board game, because my camper name, when I went up there, and everyone has to choose a camper name. Let me know in the comments what your camper name would be. I see Queen's in here. Queen might be the camper name. Denzel, we got Black Panther, right? But my camper name that I wanted to be called during that time was Black Wall Street. But none of the campers, the counselors, it was just me and Fluke really that knew what Black Wall Street was. So after the camp, I was really like talking with the Queen. Queen for sure. Yep, I see you. I already know. But looking at coming from the camp, I was like, how can we teach these kids about Black Wall Street? How can we teach these kids, or even college students, parents who may not know about Black Wall Street? Maybe they didn't teach it in K through 12, which they don't. Maybe the folks didn't have the privilege of going off to college like I did and learning about it in an AAS class. Shout out to AAS 10 with Dr. Andrea Smith, much love. So being able to learn about Black Wall Street and then further do my own research and put it into a game so that kids can learn about it in a fun way, they can learn about money management in a fun way, was the motivation for the game, right? So that's where we boom, started off with just a box. Step two, we gotta shock the world with this one. All right. Step two, bam. This was step two, right? So still very far. We're still on a cardboard box, y'all. We haven't left the U-Haul box category yet. We're still rolling, but at least now we got some graphics, right? We got colors for the different markets on there. We got icons on the board now. So now we're starting to get a little bit more towards what a real game is supposed to look like. We got an actual draw square on the board now too. So again, we just printed this out. I think it was at like Costco or Walmart, printed it, cut it out, put it on here. Now, notice the shape, right? And again, this is really for so y'all to see the progression. The original intent was to have a circle board. What does a circle represent to you? Life, unity, eternity. Okay, deep. All right. So it right, a circle is never ending. It unifies people. You can sit around in a circle and it's like a nice community. So we wanted initially it to be a circle. You'll see what happened with the next iteration, right? But this is where we were at. Step number two. All right. It's possible, y'all. Get started, create your MVP, and then slowly but surely make your MVP better. Start doing focus groups with people, right? So I think it was before we did this next game, we started to actually do focus groups and interviews with parents, with church leaders, with students, with entrepreneurs. Like, all right, what kind of game are you looking for? Are you even interested in buying a game that teaches you about Black Wall Street, right? Would you even play this game that teaches you financial literacy? Or would you just have your kids play? As a parent, would you want to be engaged in the game as well? All these types of questions we started to ask, right? So if you're in your MVP stage, make sure you definitely get some customer validation or market validation. Get out there, talk to people, do focus groups, do surveys, whatever you got to do to make sure what you think is a good idea is actually a good idea. All right. So we did our market validation and then we were able to create a prototype game. Now, this is where we had to bring in some heavy hitters. As y'all can see in the first two, I'm not the best drawer. All right. Art isn't necessarily my thing. I love art for sure. You're gonna see that in the masterpiece later on. I love art. You see it in the background. I'm a visual person. I'm just not talented yet in actually creating that art. All right. I'm a writer. That's what I do. I'm a literary person. I'm a speaker. Words, boom. But we brought in my brother Markel and founder of Rare X, dope fashion brand and graphic brand. But we were able to bring him in to help take the board to the next level. So this was the prototype. Right, we only made like 25 prototypes, gave some out to Fluke and the Village Nation, and then the others were given to some of our early supporters. My grandy got a prototype. My dad may have a prototype. So some of our early supporters, they were able to get their hands on a prototype and play it. All right. But as you see, boom, we got a logo. Hey, we got a logo, right? So now things are starting to get a little bit more real. We got some images from repositories on Black Wall Street. As you can see, we got the actual businesses all around here. So Williams Confectionery, Liberty Cafe, Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon, New State Barber, Royal Hotel, Gurley Hotel, Tulsa Star, all these real businesses that existed during Tulsa's Black Wall Street. Right. So if you've already played the game, let me know what your favorite business is in the comments, right? So as you're playing, like the business that you're always trying to get, no matter what, you're like, ooh, I want to own that business. For me, and we did an interview with the Boys and Girls Club, and they asked this question. They were like, De'Von, what is your favorite business or the business that means the most to you? And I was like, ooh, that was a good question. So for me, and I won't go deep into the story, But the probably two, I'll just say the one. Williams Dreamland Theater probably has the most sentimental value to me because the first book verse story that I ever like wrote out, and it was like a 25-page book when I was in middle school, maybe fifth grade elementary school, was called Dreamland. Right. And this was before I ever heard about Tulsa Black Wall Street. I had no idea. But this was just the land that I can go to live my dreams, where everything is beautiful and you have complete control over it. I had a lot of dreams as a kid, literally, like when I was going to sleep, dreamed a lot. So yeah. We got the queen in here. She said Madam CJ Walker Beauty Salon is her favorite. That's probably number two or three on my list. Love what Madam CJ Walker represents, and the fact that her brand, her legacy was also in Tulsa Black Wall Street, Greenwood. Fire, right? So let us know in the comments, what is your favorite business. Now, those are all prototypes. Nothing was sold yet. So notice we went through 3 iterations before we even went out into the public. And if you've been rocking with us, you know that we had a floppity flop of a Kickstarter in 2018. Floppity flop of a Kickstarter, mostly my fault. I should have listened to the Queen. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, we see you, Queen. I know you're the more intelligent, melanated person. I got you. But we were able to really get focused again, right? And it was a tough time going through that Kickstarter, getting that first real haymaker to the our entrepreneurial gut, feeling that imposter syndrome for a second, like, damn, we did all this research, we put this together, we created the prototypes, and then we tried to do a Kickstarter, we couldn't raise the money. Like, is this a good product? Like, should we continue to do this? Is it what people want? Maybe our focus groups are off. So it was a an interesting week or two after that Kickstarter. But we, as y'all know, by the end of the story, right? We're still here. We didn't let that little valley. And when you're going through your entrepreneurship, you're starting your business, you're doing all your great stuff. There's always going to be those highs and lows, always. But what happens in these valleys determines if you will ever see another mountain, right? Like, think about that. If you can be chilling in this valley, be okay, like, you know what, this is hard, I'm not going to walk up that hill, I'm going to stop here. Or you can keep on trucking, go up that mountain and see the mountaintop. And that's what we decided to do. We put up our own money. We started our website, started our Facebook group, started outreaching and really marketing and promoting the game like we should have done earlier. Got a nice community of people. And then we did the first edition games, had them available for pre-order, and sold out in 3 months. Right. So it's a lovely process. Here's the board, and then I'll also show y'all the box for the first edition. But here's the board. And notice prototype versus board. All right. So here's the prototype. And we got this from Ad Magic, or Print and Play. Really easy to use. They have a lot of components. Personally, no disrespect, the quality isn't as good. But if you're just trying to get a prototype out there, or you're trying to do print on demand, maybe you don't have thousands of dollars to order hundreds of games, but you got $500 to order 10 games, right? You can do that through Print and Play, Ad Magic. All right. So if you're looking at game design, this is a good place to start. But back is, qualities, no gloss on it, but it was a good prototype for sure. Now, first edition, you see there's now a little bit of gloss added. The quality feels better. We got the real commercial backing on it, taking it to the next level for sure. But most of the design is the same. It's just a little bit higher quality. This is where we started selling games. Now, the first edition was good, and for what we knew back then, it was good. A few things. Let's see if I can show you. Here's the box for the first edition. All right, do it pretty good. Boom, inspiring the next generation of entrepreneurs, teaching investment, money management, and wealth building. And then, of course, got the history of Tulsa right there, but nothing on the back. Plain plain back. We wanted to fix it, but we were like, it costs more money to do more printing. Let's just go here. All right. So first edition game, good game. Let me open this up. I mainly want to show y'all the money because that was the main thing that got updated with the second edition. So this is what the money looks like. See how floppy it is? You can see the quality of it. The symbols are there, right? We got the Sankofa on there, of course, representing as you fly forward, as you go towards the future, always looking back to previous generations or people that may not be as fortunate as you, always reaching back as you fly forward. Love that. We got the Indicra symbol of cooperative economics on there. We got real people, real businesses, and real possibilities on there. And of course, we got some, some ivy leaves and stuff, and then the logo in the middle. Um, but yeah, that was the money. That was the first edition. Good start. If you got the first edition back in 2018, much love. We literally would not be here without those select individuals. It was like maybe 300, 350 games, I believe. We wouldn't be here today in 2021 without the people that gave us their trust, their support back in 2018. So truly, much love to y'all. Now, fast forward 2019. All right, and feel free again if y'all got questions. Feel free to put in the comments whether you're watching on the live or on the replay. But second edition, it got a little bit better, right? We knew what we were doing now, where we got used to the manufacturing timeline and how long things take to be made. We got used to the marketing that we had to do. We got kind of used to it, and we were able to spend more time adding features to the game. So here's the box, right? So as you can see, two stripes, not too crazy, but we added the two stripes. Most of the stuff in the front is pretty much the same. You can see Rare's logo over here. That's Markel. You see the True Health Forever logo right here. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, first edition games were like 100% True Health Forever. We sold it on the True Health Forever website. We had the True Health Forever Instagram that we marketed on, and it was really a True Health Forever product. But it was, again, this is hopefully a good learning experience for other folks out there building products, building games under various brands. Um, Although we had it in our head, True Forever is a holistic health company. It was the first business me and the Queen started, focusing on social health, physical health, spiritual health, and economic health. All right, we started this in 2016. Our first product that we really built out and commercialized was Black Wall Street, the board game, to support economic health. Unfortunately, it wasn't as clear for other people that this was a like the connection didn't make sense for folks, right? A Black Wall Street game, a board game being sold by a health company. A lot of people on Instagram were like, is this y'all's or is somebody else's? Is this black owned? People who actually bought the game saw True Health Forever on their credit card and they were like, are these health supplements? I don't remember buying True Health Forever. So it was just a lot of headache, right? A little bit of customer service had to be put on constantly, but it was something that we could have avoided, and we did. We learned from that, and we created a separate Play Black Wall Street Instagram to market the game specifically. We created a separate website, playbackwallstreet.com, so that you can order from there, and on your credit card it says Play Black Wall Street. So create a separate PayPal for Play Black Wall Street. Like we just separated it all, not because we had to 100%, but one of the 22 immutable laws of marketing, which I have somewhere around here, that's why I was looking around. But one of the 22 immutable laws of marketing is the law of perception, and the fact that your customers will always have a certain perception. It's not up to you to recreate their perception, but it's up to you to use that perception to your advantage, right? So if the perception is Black Wall Street, the board game, is going to be owned by a black owned company and it's going to be a board game company, then it's up to you to create that board game company instead of trying to fit this mold and kind of trick their perception into thinking that, oh, a health company can sell board games, right? That's not a smart idea. So we learned from that idea and we switched it over. And the second edition game was when everything was Play Black Wall Street, Play Black Wall Street. We created literally a new brand to market the game. All right. So that's the front. Boom. And that is the back. Very excited about the back. Being able to show the timeline and the series of events that led up to Tulsa's Black Wall Street. If you don't know, Tulsa's Black Wall Street pays a lot of homage to, or kind of was created because of, the Trail of Tears, right? Our indigenous, our Native American population being forced, from the Indian Removal Act, forced from the East Coast into territories out west. And one of those territories was Oklahoma. So what we try to do is, this is supposed to also represent literally the trail that they went. If you look up the Trail of Tears and the path that they traveled, this would look very similar to it. But on the map, we have, Creek Indians traveling from freed and enslaved African Americans that settled in Tallahassee, which is modern day Tulsa. That was 1838. We have O.W. Gurley hitting the scene in 1905 and starting the first business in the Greenwood district. Also bought 40 acres out there, subdivided them, and was very strategic and intentional about only selling to Black families. We have the NAACP, founded in 1909. We have Dunbar High School being founded in 1910. The Cushing oil field gushing oil in 1912. What else? 1913, maybe Mabel B. Little hits the scene at 17 years old with only $1.25 in her pocket. She comes to Tulsa. And then, of course, 1921, we have the bombing and destruction of Tulsa's Black Wall Street, right? So being able to buy this game and learn the history, learn the road, the trail that led to Tulsa Black Wall Street was definitely important to us to add for the second edition. Something else that was important. Yeah. Thank you for the applause. Much love, much love. But something else that was important was making sure the money was more was better. All right. So this is the money for the second edition. As y'all can see, the color is just so much more rich. The quality, you can even, you hear that? The quality is just so much better. But yeah, the dynamic colors in there. Another thing that we upgraded was the rule book itself. So the last rule book had mainly just rules in it, whereas the second edition rule book, we have brainstorming business ideas in there, right? Worksheets for families or young ones to do. We got the basic business level, sole proprietor, LLC, corporation, how to create those different entities. We have a thing on intellectual property and the different business aspects as well. So really trying to make sure, like, diving into the education of what this game can be, right? Diving in, adding more educational activities and just nuggets so that when people invest in this game, they're also investing in themselves. And that's what we really want to do. Help not only, families come together and talk about money, but really help educate families and how they can come together to literally make money. All right. Love it. Love it. All right. So that's the second edition. Are y'all ready? I'm about to show y'all the masterpiece. And we're not going to go, you know, piece by piece, but y'all can see the evolution, some of the decisions that we made. And yeah, I'm just going to show y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. Let's get into it. Here is the masterpiece edition. It is not like you're when you're watching this, it's in your hands. So I mean, you probably you see it already, but I'm excited because this is the second sample that we've gotten. But this sample is better than the first sample, so I'm not even going to show y'all the first sample. All right, so masterpiece edition. Boom. One, as you can see, we got the black box. All right. Got the black box. We got the gold masterpiece on here. And the reason why this is also so special is because this year is the 100th year anniversary of the bombing of Tulsa's Black Wall Street. So we had to take the game to the next level. We had to make sure we did something extremely special because this is a momentous moment for the legacy of Tulsa's Black Wall Street. But boom, on here, masterpiece edition, we got head to head or cooperative. So there is a way to play head to head like all the other games where you're basically competing against each other and one person wins, or you can play cooperatively, right? Cooperative economics, and everyone's building together. Everyone's trying to make sure everyone's still holding on and building their businesses. And at the end, everybody can win. We changed up the history a little bit as well to represent the Greenwood Rising kind of campaign that's going on right now, where they're building a state-of-the-art museum and cultural hub in Tulsa to really again pay homage to the legacy and have a spot where people can go. Right, there is the Greenwood Culture Center, much love, but having an additional place where people can go to get entrepreneurship resources, to learn about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street, to really share ideas and resources about how to create better future for Tulsa and elsewhere. So dope stuff. On the back, we did a few things. One, you see the gold map. Fire. Fire. And shout out to Markel, shout out to Sinclair for helping with like the real small detail on how we can take this game to the next level. But we got the gold road right there. We got the OW Gurley portrait, which you also see in the background, right? Little sneak peek. We also added a few things to the timeline, including 2020, the Greenwood Rising Project, and 2021, the 100th year anniversary of the bombing of Tulsa Black Wall Street. Now, the main thing that takes this game to a whole nother level, obviously the box is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Obviously the box is beautiful, but what takes this game to the next level is the art that we put into this game. Literally the art. Right, so you see the one behind me, and there's 14 other pieces that we had commissioned for this game from artists all around the world. We got artists from LA, we got artists from North Carolina, we got artists in Detroit, we got artists in Cambridge, England, we got artists in India, from literally all over the world that wanted to contribute to the legacy of Tulsa's Black Wall Street. So that's what takes this game in particular to a whole nother level. All right. So let's go ahead, open this bad boy up. Come on now. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. All right. So first things first, there are masterpiece stickers in here, right? Just a little fun addition. You know, we like to get the kids and the family some stickers. Um, the other one in previous version of the game, it just came with like a Black Wall Street, the board game sticker. But these ones, yeah, these are unique work of art. Literally, all these art pieces right here were commissioned work of art. Number two, the rule book, a little bit of a heftier rule book than before, but that's because there is a lot of things added. First off, added a QR code in the back. Right? So if you want to get additional resources, if you want to be able to watch videos, if you want to be able to enroll in courses, if you want to follow us on Instagram, all that stuff, boom, put a QR code right there for you. You scan that and you will instantly have access to a whole bunch of other resources that are constantly going to be updated as well. So you bought this in 2021, but you're watching this video in 2053. Boom, this QR code has been updated and you can now get resources 30 years later. If you're watching this in 2053, please let me know. That would be so fire. All right. Because the reason why 2053 is kind of significant is that was another motivation to why we needed to make this game. When Andrew Yang was running for president, he made this popular when he went on the Breakfast Club interview, and he was saying how it's projected that by the year 2053, he said this in 2016, by the year 2053, the median Black family wealth is supposed to be zero. And I was like, by 2053, I'm gonna have a family. I'm gonna be maybe 60 something years old. Like I'm not trying to have my median wealth or my wealth be zero. I don't want my family, my friends' wealth to be zero. So how can we create resources to make sure that that future that some statistician, some politician created, how can we make sure that that future does not happen, right? So that's why I say if you're watching the 2053, much love to you. But in the rule book have a lot of the usual rules and history as well, but we also added an empowerment pack. Boom, hopefully you can see that. Had a nice empowerment plaque where you can define your natural gifts and superpowers. And this can be for kids, this can be for grown adults, whoever wants to do it. If you're looking for a more a structured way on how you can define and discover your superpower, your gift, your skills. We got you right there. A way to define the problems that you want to solve out in the world. We got you. And we also included a business model canvas right here for our fellow visual people who want to start a business. You can go ahead and identify the problem, write down your unique talent, who's your market, define the product, what's your brand name, and be able to have it all right here for you. All right. So powerful stuff right there. Another thing that we added is, wait for it, we added the virtual masterpiece art gallery. All right. So if you want to learn more about the different pieces that are in here, of course, OW Gurley right in the back, but my brother TJ Taylor. What's another one? We got historical drip with my sis Ro May. What else we got in here? We got Freedom 1865 by Zoe. And then we got a few honorable mentions in here. Afro Phoenix, M'Baku, who you also see on the wall. We got John Baker on here. So just trying to make sure that this is a real work of art. Like this board game is supposed to be an experience for you, not just while you're playing it, but while you're reading the rule book. It should be an empowering and educational and cultural experience for everyone who's playing. So rule book, whole nother level. We also added a limited edition print in here that you can go ahead and frame, put anywhere. This is 1 out of 1,000. All right, only 1,000 of these will be made. You can go ahead and frame this, put it anywhere. But go ahead, a little extra limited edition art in there. And then, ooh, should I do? I'm gonna do the board last. I think the board, that's the piece de resistance. That's my chef friend say. I'm gonna do the board last. We also added subtleties. There are fists in here. I don't know if you can see it that well, all right? But there are fists in here, and there's pawns. You can choose which one you use, right? Not gonna talk about the meaning behind each one. You can define your own meaning for each pieces, but you do have that choice. We also have some gold dice in here, just for the theme. We got huge difference insurance tokens. If you've played the first edition or second edition, there's a card that's real accurate to history. You know what I'm talking about. There's a card in there real accurate to history, and people were like, you know what, that card is very discouraging, it's kind of emotional, it's triggering, and we understand that. All right, but we had that card in there to represent what our ancestors really went through, and unfortunately a lot of them weren't able to get insurance to cover their business, to cover their homes, to cover the looting that was happening in their homes. Like they weren't able to have insurance, or they did have insurance but it wasn't respected during that time. But to add another layer of the game and to really represent the future and the present that we want to have, we added insurance tokens. So you can have partial insurance or you can have full insurance to cover your business. We also added trivia cards, right? So making sure that as you're playing around and you're learning history, let's test some of that history now, right? So you're learning it, whether you've been playing from the first edition or the masterpiece is your first time. You should be learning some Black history. We also have, kind of a plug. We've been doing the Black Study Snacks as well, giving folks history about Booker T. Washington, W.E. Du Bois, about the Black Panthers, about Tulsa's Black Wall Street, about the other Black Wall Streets all throughout America, about King Mansa Musa, about Queen Calafia, all those stuff. So we're also trying to see how we can test other aspects of Black history. So added the trivia cards. Another thing added is an actual plastic bank. All right, that way you don't have to, have the money all out in the open, people trying to sneak money, all that good stuff. So we got an actual plastic bank where you can house stuff in there as well. All right. Now, y'all ready? Y'all sure? Y'all ready for this board? All right. Yep, love. Thank you. Okay, so let's show the board. First off, the board is much bigger But you'll also notice something that we tried to do earlier that we brought back in our own way. All right. Oh, come on, work with me. Work with me. Here is the board. You're looking around, you can see the art all around the board. There we go. See that? You got the streets, Greenwood, Archer, Pine, Cincinnati. We got the art in the middle. Very notable pieces. Of course, a lot of stuff was happening, the past few years, but we got the first Black female vice president, Kamala Harris. Much love. RIP to Kobe, RIP Chadwick. All right, had to put some legacy in there. But all around the board, you'll find the art pieces that we had commissioned for this game. Right? Fire. Like I don't know too many games. Y'all let me know if I'm mistaken. I don't know too many games that are highlighting Black artists on the game, right? And actually, there is Lyrically Correct, dope game that does, rap artists for sure. And there's one other one, I'm forgetting what it's called. It's like Ox God or something. But they're also giving respect to rap artists, hip hop artists, and vocalists. So that way. But visual artists, painters, digital artists, drawers, like I don't know too many other games that are doing that. So yeah, it's all around. And of course, we got the affirmative, we will rebuild, words like investor on there, just making sure that we are affirming the identity that we want in there, right? So that's the board. It's beautiful. It's a work of art, y'all. I'm so excited. This came in 2 days ago. All right, perfect timing for this video. Came in 2 days ago. So yeah, that's the evolution. Oh, and if you didn't notice, we brought the circle back, right? In our own way. The board is still a square, but you see the actual board where you'll be going around is in a circle. Right? You gotta be creative. Don't give up on the dream. Just figure out how you can make the dream work. So we were able to put the circle back in there to represent the unity, to represent the forever, to represent the uh, never ending circle of Black culture and what we give to the community, all that good stuff that y'all were saying earlier. We wanted to make sure we can represent that in the board game. All right. So that's the full evolution, y'all. It's been a long road. People ask, like, why is the board game $100? First of all, do y'all see this amazing work of art? Right. Second of all, we had to work with artists to get it commissioned. So that took a lot of effort, a lot of resources. So we're trying to make sure that we were able to do it justice. Third, it's the 100th year anniversary. So the hundred just made this is made symbolicism. Y'all know the word. It is made kind of a sense symbolically. There we go. That's the word. And then lastly, it has so many resources in there. You're not just paying for the game, right? The game is a part of it. The collector's edition is a part of it. The fact that only 1,000 are going to be sold this year and possibly more next year. Like, but you'll have that limited edition, one of 1,000 that you can save for the 100. What else is in there? All of the educational activities that we added in there, the empowerment pack, the LLCs versus corporation, intellectual property, like all those tangible things that you can make money off of. Right. So you're buying this game to play, have fun, but there's activities and education in here that will empower you to create wealth, to help you create your own mini Black Wall Street in your community, in your household, in your state, in your nation. That's why the game is over $100, right? And we are proud to say it like that. And we will be donating funds as we have all these years. Like we're givers over here, we're philanthropists over here. So that's not going to be all money in. Some of that will go back to scholarships. We'll go back to supporting Tulsa and Greenwood and the Greenwood Rising Project and all that beautiful stuff. All right. So thought I had a sneeze coming. We appreciate you for tuning in. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, definitely go ahead and ask your questions, give your comments, show your love, say what city you're representing. I always love seeing where people are buying the games. Every time an order comes in, I'm always like, okay, where's this shipping to, just to see how the game has dispersed across to the entire African diaspora. Love to see the love and support. Tap in with us, right? Even if you didn't purchase the game, but somehow someone sent you this link, tap in with us, whether you want to purchase the Masterpiece Edition, the second edition, which again will still be sold. That's our hallmark game, our what's it called? Flagship. That's our flagship game at this point. The second edition is our flagship game. That's probably going to keep on being sold. The Masterpiece is kind of a for this moment type of game, right? So again, appreciate y'all. Stay healthy, stay mentally wealthy, and as usual, make sure y'all stay true.